why does anybody want to be a missionary? Or does nobody want to be a missionary and God is making them with AKs?
Okay. Number one, God's not making them with AKs.
Okay.
So let's clear that up real quick.
All right. So why would anyone want to be a missionary?
No, I think they feel called.
According to your definition.
Yeah.
Not the, hey, I walked outside of the mailbox and screamed Jesus at my neighbor.
Right. I think they honestly feel called to it. They feel called to go to other places and serve. And
okay,
that's just, to me, that's just like, but that's why you would do it.
But
because there's no gain in it.
If you feel called, why would you want to do it?
Okay. So if you like, all right, for me personally, like I felt called in college to go be a missionary. Okay.
Are you sure?
No, that's why I'm here right now. And so, but I was like, I felt like this, I was drawn to this sense of going and serving. Okay. And so, and still part of me has that bent in me, which is why I still go on the mission field a pretty good bit. Okay?
Which is why you want to go die when you're 80.
Yeah, I would
for Christ.
I would actually be okay with that, like 100%. Like I would actually be okay with that.
So you'll join when you're 80.
Yeah, I'll join. No, I will not join your cause. Are you kidding me? What are we talking about?
Oh man. Okay, cool.
I'm definitely not joining your cause. All right, not even when I'm 80. And so, no, and that sounds crazy. I know. Like, why would you just want to go? And I'm not saying like you just intentionally go, just put yourself in a place to die. I'm just saying at that older age, would I mind going and giving up my life for the sake of Christ? No. Okay.
All right.
But so so right out of college, I worked with an evangelist from Brazil. Okay. So I worked 1 year with him. So we traveled around the U.S. We traveled around Brazil. I spent a couple of summers in Brazil, and I did feel this like tug, this pull. The first time I spent like that first summer down there, I was like, oh man, I want to come live here. Like I want to come. This is like come do this. And it was interesting because actually it was in my second summer down there. I was running an internship program down in Brazil, and I was so looking forward to it. I was like, this is going to be like the catapult me, if you were, to missions work like full time. Okay. But being down there, I actually realized, I was like, man, I have such a heart to just pastor people in the United States who don't know, like, to help them grow in Christ. And then if I can be an individual to help send people, oh, that would be awesome. And that really became more of my burden. And it's been a really cool 20-year journey of seeing that happen, of, pastoring individuals, sharing with them my heart for missions, and actually seeing people step into missions from that.
Okay.
But so for me, it was about, you felt called and you felt a passion and a desire for a people group.
How do you feel called?
Well, I think it's the same way.
What does that mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a good question just in general, but I think it's the same way as, like I feel called to be a pastor. I think there's individuals that, hey, I feel called to be in the business world. I feel called to be in the entertainment industry. I feel called to, whatever it may be.
I feel called to sit here and make fun of what you feel called to do.
Well, I think in a twisted way that actually is a calling.
Okay.
Because obviously you're doing like
for
Christ. I think there's a lot of things within Christianity that need to be critiqued. There's a lot of things within pastors and that need to be critiqued. And so I think that's actually pretty cool that you enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
And so,
and there's no one with a gun here.
No, there's not.
Making me do it.
You're doing it on your own volition. Right. But so I think that, we just feel this passion, when I say call, you feel this, passion, this pull from the Lord, tug from the Lord to go and to serve in whatever capacity that is. For missionaries, it's generally like the Lord gives you this sense of, I want you to go serve in this country. Okay.
I
want you to go serve here, or maybe it's in multiple, and you're working within, an area or a region. And I mean, some of my heroes in the faith today are individuals who have given their lives as missionaries, and that I've had the great fortune, I feel like, to become friends with them, to know them, and one of them has even passed away. Actually, the church I'm going to in Colombia, the first time I was down there 10 years ago, it was with this missionary. Cool. And he introduced me to this church family, to the pastors there, and I've had an amazing 10-year connection with them ever since. But it was all because of a pastor named Alan Winter.
So you go down there to tell people that already go to church about Jesus?
No, so, well, yeah, for me, yeah, I know. For me, what I'm doing is it's like when it talks about the apostles in the book of Acts that are going and they go back to the churches they've been to strengthen the disciples, it says. They return to strengthen the disciples. Okay. And so for me, that's a lot of what I've been called to in Colombia. Now, it's different in other places I go, but in Colombia specifically, I go and minister in churches, and it's for their strengthening. So usually I'm speaking.
So you're a second-hand missionary.
I wouldn't even call myself a missionary, being honest. Like because I take trips down there that are, to different places between a week to 2 weeks long. Like I don't feel like I'm a missionary.
Train other people to be missionaries considered missionaries?
No, they would be those that are teaching and training unless they have already served as missionaries.
Okay.
Yeah, and which does happen quite a bit, like where you end up, like I know, for example, a missions pastor in our area, well, he retired from the missions field after being in the missions field for like 30 to 40 years. And
too old to feel called to do it anymore?
Well, he felt called to come back, and so he did. And now he's...
Turns out his hearing just went, so he couldn't hear anyone calling.
Well, whatever. And so now he's back, and he's serving as a missions pastor of a church, and that's largely what he does is, I mean, yes, he sends out teams, but he also is training individuals who feel called to go to the mission field, because he can do that as one who has, firsthand experience with it.
So that's why people want to become missionaries
I think it's
because they feel called to do
it. And feel this passion to lead people to Christ in other areas, to help establish churches, and some of it is like for like, along those lines, obviously you're wanting to share Christ and those kind of things, but a lot of people have this heart to, it could be on a humanitarian like level where they're just like, I want to go and help, individuals in these areas, have clean water, have healthier living,
What if you feel called to do it, but you hate it? Like you feel called, but there's no passion.
Man, that would be brutal. I don't know if that
Would you go?
I don't know if that happens. I don't know. I'm maybe there are people who do that. I don't know. That feels a little strange to me. If I'm being honest.
Okay.
Like you tend to feel called to things you're passionate toward. Now, I'm not saying you don't. I think like I will say, even for me, I have felt called to say yes to something that maybe I didn't have the strongest conviction about, but I said yes to, entered in, went into that area of ministry or whatever it may be, and then once I'm there, then that passion and then that comes. But
isn't that what happened to Moses?
No, yeah, Moses was like,
right?
Oh yeah, he was
God called him to do something, and 100%. Then he was like, no.
Yeah, I mean, he was a reluctant prophet. He was like, me, no, like I can't even talk well. Like, why should I get like right? No. Like, who's gonna believe me? So yeah, no, I'm not saying there's
people
not a
let go my damn it. Oh. God, I'm the wrong guy.
That's right. So no, I'm not saying there's never like this like hesitation, but I would assume that once you're there, something is stirred in you and it becomes like this passion that you have for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's others that we actually have an individual coming to our church this weekend, and she's coming and speaking about how the ministry she is working with helps to get people out of human and sex trafficking, and then through counseling helps them to begin to recover and to be restored. And so
that's missionary work.
that's missionary. I would call that missionary work.
Okay.
Because they're seeing people come out of human trafficking. They're helping them get counsel, and they also help them. And obviously they're sharing Christ with them as well. Yeah, and so
really,
yeah.
Hey, I know you're having a rough entire life, and you need medical attention immediately.
Right.
However, have you heard about Jesus?
Well, they're going to give them the medical attention they need.
What?
No, they're going to give them the medical attention they need, and they're going to give them the counseling they need, right?
Okay.
Because for the mental and the emotional trauma they've experienced. But, I mean, as a Christian, I believe wholeheartedly that what makes people whole, any of us whole, is Christ, is knowing Christ.
Okay.
And so, therefore, part of an individual's restoration into wholeness would have to include that component.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you're wanting to help them, even, this individual that I know, like, they do these things, but they even help them develop skill sets and those kind of things so they can have jobs and they can provide for families. And, it's a total, approach, if you were a wholeness approach to an individual being restored. So yeah, I would call that a missionary as well.